Sagittarius. This is going to be your monthly November reading 2019. I'm going to get one of these oracle cards for you, see what is going on and what advice you may have or spirit has for you, or your subconscious, or whatever it is that you believe in. We'll see what kind of advice they have for you. All right, you've got mending. So the suggestion for you, Sagittarius, throughout November is to find where you can mend broken relationships and maybe some areas that still maybe cause you pain or there's tension. And it's all about like fixing relationships. And that can even be fixing your relationship with your spiritual side. Okay, so really getting in and mending anywhere that seems like it could use it. You know, forgiveness is a huge, huge thing. And we don't always have to allow somebody or a situation to continue to hurt us by forgiving. Forgiving often happens with ourselves. So once you can forgive yourself and mend some of that discomfort, a lot of the times you're going to feel a lot freer. I love that, the mending. Forgiveness is such a powerful, powerful energy. Let's get some tarot cards and see what it is that's going on with you around this mending. Hope you all had a good October. I am actually finishing these last 4 videos on November 1st because Mercury retrograde's been messing with me, putting me behind schedule. All right, you've got the Star coming up, Justice, and 4 of Pentacles. Nice. All right. Now, when we get the Star, it's all about healing. And it's all about really trusting in the divine process. Healing because we know that we had to go through that, and the wisdom and experience and the knowledge and the tools that we gain from whatever we're healing from are actually essential for our forward motion, our growth, our momentum, everything that we need to move forward in the divine, you know, bigger picture. So the Star is there to tell you, hey, you have some healing to do, and that's fine. It could be that forgiveness, that mending that needs to happen, and also to trust that you're being guided, you're being protected, and that everything, you know, that maybe you've come through up to this point, recognizing how much it has shaped your reality. Now we have the Justice card coming up under mending, and a lot of the time the Justice card can really talk about karma. And when we're talking about karma, maybe that mending does come into play there, where maybe you're holding a grudge that is unnecessary, not only because it's hurting you, but because it just doesn't help anybody when we hold grudges. But balance also, okay? When we are holding too much passion towards, you know, anger or jealousy or something that we haven't mended within ourselves, that our scales become unbalanced. So it's really suggested to you to check where you may be out of balance throughout November and really get back into that momentum of how you choose to live your life in the most, you know, helpful and happy way for yourself, and then obviously those people that and circumstances that you're interacting with daily. So making sure that you're maintaining that balance, okay? That's all about that karmic balance. And truth. There's a lot of truth going on there. So maybe being truthful can mend a lot of situations that, you know, maybe have become sour or toxic. Now, the 4 of Pentacles coming up means that you may not be ready to do some mending. You may be holding on to something too tight. Or this also can suggest some kind of movement forward and not knowing where to move. Now, when we have the 4 of Pentacles, we're celebrating how far we've come. We're realizing how far we've come. Our stability has grown in some way, and maybe we don't want to budge from that because we're fearful that if we make any moves, we're going to lose one of those pentacles. But in reality, sometimes there is that giving, and so that we can get more, okay? Sometimes, you know, investing one of these pentacles into something that you know can bring you even more stability is worth the risk. So this can be a lot of different things for a lot of different Sagittarius out there. If it has to do with this mending, it's a holding on too tight. You know, maybe holding on too tight to a grudge, where it's saying, hey, keep that balance. You know, you don't need this grudge. You're healing. Let go. And for others of you, this is going to be where you're trying to figure out where you can invest your coin, and you're a little worried about doing that because you don't want to lose the stability that you've gained up to this point. And the advice of this card is to understand that after you go through this realization, then it goes into your belief. So what you believe is definitely going to manifest from this. So if you say to me, well, I believe that I'm going to, lose this coin, I'm there to tell you, yeah, maybe. If you believe that, then that's your belief. That's probably what's going to happen. So be really mindful of your realization, because that's going to create your belief. Let's get some clarifying cards and see if we can figure out what it is that you might be healing from, where there's justice, and something that you might be fearful of letting go. I love that mending card. It's so beautiful with the little fairy wings. It feels like once you mend, you can really soar free, let your wings open up and do more things, do some growth. Woo, that's too many cards flipping over. That was the Ten of Swords, so that might be signifying to some of you that this whole problem and issue that you may be going through up to this point is done. So that might have been just a very personal message for somebody. All right, you have the World here, and that definitely signifies an ending. You have Three of Swords, which is some level of pain and healing. And then we have this Two of Wands, so some choices. Let's break this down and see what's up. All right, so you have the Star, you have healing, and then you have the World. How absolutely beautiful is that for these to come so close to each other, because they really fall close to each other in the major arcana, linear line there. Even though it's never a linear line, it's always the circle, and that's what the World is there to signify, is that you have come through something really big. And whether you need healing from it or you need to be reminded that you're guided, there is that recognition of victory. You have definitely come through something huge, Sagittarius, okay? Recognize how much you've grown. Recognize how far you've come. This is the very last card of the major arcana, kind of, because then you'd get the Fool, and then you'd get the number one manifestation of the Magician. So it goes into that circle again. So you're beginning a new circle and new cycle even, which is great. Celebrate that. Celebrate that you've come so far, that you've completed some kind of a karmic cycle that you needed to go through in order to move forward. And so maybe it is the time to do some mending, because that cycle's in your past. So if you want to move forward, you're going to have to do some mending, or you're not going to be able to move forward. Now you have this Justice coming up here with this Three of Swords, and that is definitely about some sort of truth hurting, some sort of communication hurting, some sort of thoughts that you're hurting yourself with. And this pain can be on a spectrum of just really feeling down to like absolute depression. So really making sure that you're checking where your feelings are lying and where they're coming from. Where are these feelings coming from? What is it that needs to be healed? So that's what's great about the Three of Swords, is it helps us identify what in ourselves needs to be recognized, healed, accepted, absorbed, sat with. Okay, sometimes we need to go into our inner child and just sit with them and hold them and let them know that it's going to be okay. We're going to get through this, because this was something we had to go through, right? Big cycle here, and a lot of lessons and wisdom gained from the experience. Now we have that Four of Pentacles, and what I love about this is this kind of solidifies what I was saying earlier. This is the world in your hands. Here's that extra pentacle that you're ready to invest, or you don't know what to do with it. Maybe you don't even want to let go of it. Okay, but really it's saying, there is an option here. Find where your passion is, because once you choose, you can really move forward. So find what's passionate for you, because this new cycle coming up, you're going to be able to dictate and determine where you're headed with those new tools, those new wisdom and experience, and passion is going to be what drives you. Okay, recognizing that there's more stability to come, and how far you've come right to this point is great, but there's so much more. So don't stay stuck either, because the Four can signify being stuck, whereas the Two signifies you already know. You already know where the decision is. You already know where the option or the opportunity is that you're needing to figure out so that you can move forward. Now let's get a postcard from Spirit. I love this deck. I've been using it for private readings. I've gotten a lot of good feedback. It seems to be really synchronistic. We're going to see how it plays out for you. So I wanted to bring it and share it. Now I still have a tarot deck giveaway going on for sweepstakes, and in the rules I had put that I needed 111 subscribers, and I actually also put that I needed 111 sweepstake entry forms, because that's how I choose, you know, how I can raffle or whatever, not raffle, do the drawing is through the subscription entries, and that was part of the rules, so I have to remain ethical and legal to that, you know. And I only got a handful of sweepstake entries, so if you're a subscriber and you want a free tarot deck, and I'm going to send it, it's brand new, still in the package, and you know, are within all the rules and regs, please go sign up with the sweepstakes entry form, because I want to give away this tarot deck so bad, but I only got a handful of folks signing up, and we need like 100 more. So please, please, I'll put a link in the description and a video at the end of this one for you, if you're interested. Okay, Sagittarius, dearest you, sometimes it's wonderful to give, but there are times you might find yourself over-giving. Now might be a good time to check in and see where you might be cutting off the flow of abundance. Let others give to you, even if you are more comfortable being generous in being the giver, the healer, the rescuer. In the art of living, we sometimes overlook an important skill, receiving gracefully and with gratitude, without diminishing yourself or trying to deny vulnerability or bringing an agenda of equality to it. Receiving is hard for some people, maybe you. You do not need a this for that in your exchange with others. You are doing good in the world. Let the world give back and support you. Then you can give up the old stories that have you convinced you have to do everything alone with no help. Let your well be filled. We all love you so much. So this is definitely signifying that you can, you know, really start receiving, not always having to give. So even in this mending, you know, receiving somebody's apology, you know, receiving help if you're going through some pain, and really getting into that flow of recognizing that, you know, everything is divinely laid out for you and you are not alone. You are being divinely guided, and that's what that star is right there. So awesome, Sagittarius, awesome reading. Thank you guys so much for subscribing, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. It helps me spread this channel around, and thank you for all the likes and comments. If you want to see the next reading, hit the bell button and it'll update you. And again, check out that tarot giveaway. It's super cool. And we'll check you guys later.